So let's start with a nice beachy music this morning. Pretend we're on the beach, pretend we're nice and warm, and sit comfortably in the middle of your mat. And you just want to kind of wiggle around a little bit until you're comfortable. Once you feel like you're positioned in your balance, sit up nice and tall, so lengthen through the spine. And you want to relax the shoulders. When I say lengthen, a lot of times we shrug on up trying to be nice and tall, but I don't want you to lengthen through the shoulders. I want you to drop those shoulders and lengthen through the head. So your spine is nice and long. Maybe place the hands, the palms resting on the knees, and just start to find some nice, slow, deep breaths. So you want to expand the belly, fill the belly with air as you breathe in. Exhale. Breathe everything out. So start there, start to clear your mind and prepare for class. Start to float your eyes open if you have them closed, and find some small movements, maybe wiggling that head a little bit side to side. We're going to prepare to work our way down onto our backs on our mats. So whichever, I have to go sideways to show you guys the angle, but hopefully as I switch sides, I'll turn my head angle, so that you'll be able to see my body. The first move that we're going to do, come all the way down onto your backs. And I want you to keep your knees bent. And I want you to take your arms out to a T arm. Shameless dog move. Come on. Arms out to a T. And what I want you to do here is just start to relax the shoulder blades. Okay, so you're going to feel the shoulder blades pushing into the back. And let your spine get nice and neutral here. You may find as soon as you come onto your back, some of us instinctively are going to arch the back. That feels more natural to us. And then some of us are going to kind of try to push the spine down into the ground to have everything touching the floor. What I want you to do is try not to do either. Relax those arms out to the side and just find that nice neutral spine. So close your eyes and start to think about which parts of your body are actually connecting with the ground right now. Focus on that spine and just kind of find a release here. I want your shoulders to be nice and relaxed. So the arms out to a T. Don't lock the elbows. I want you to keep the elbows nice and soft. And just kind of let the elbows rest on the ground and let the shoulder blades rest on the ground. Notice if the low back is arching or touching. And take a few breaths here before we start to find some movement. As you inhale and exhale, try not to move your spine so much. Your diaphragm can move, so as you breathe in, your belly fills up with air. As you exhale, it comes on out, but try not to tuck and release. So we're not doing cat-cow here, right? So we're just kind of resting here. Maybe take 2 more breaths just like that. With each exhale, try to relax just a little bit more. Those muscles release. Great job. What I want you to do now is we're going to continue with our inhale and exhale, but we're going to start to move just the arms. We're going to move one palm face down, the other palm stays facing up. What we're going to be doing is basically we're like wringing our arms, right? And then we'll add the legs after that. We're going to start with just the arms. And I want you to take one palm face up, inhale, and then exhale, switch. So the opposite palm faces up and the opposite palm faces down. Now we're going to add the head movement. What I want you to do with your head is I want you to take your gaze towards the palm that is up. So as we inhale, switch sides, my gaze is going to turn towards the opposite side. This palm faces down, and then switch. Very slow, gentle movement. We're just starting to wring out the shoulders, the arms, and the neck. You find your own pace here, find your own flow. What we want to do is we're just going to allow the spine and the shoulders to start to relax a little bit here. Let's do one more on each side, just like that. Your pace can be faster than mine, or it can be slower, either way. And now we're going to add some knees. So what we're going to do is the palm that's facing up, we're going to take the knees away. Our gaze is looking over the palm that's facing up, our knees fall away. And then we switch everything. This palm comes down, opposite palm comes up. We shift our gaze and the knees come down the other side. So switching side to side here. Keep going with that flow. This should start to feel good on the low spine as we add the knees into this twist. So the beginning part, the arms and the neck are working through the upper spine and the neck. We start to add these legs, and that's going to add the lower back and the hips. You may feel some cracks here and there in the joints. That's perfectly normal. Actually a good thing. We're loosening up. As long as there's no pain. If there's any pain, don't drop the knees as far down to the ground, okay? Let's do one more of these on each side. You may notice also that the hips fall further on one side than the other. Perfectly normal as well. Just means one hip is tighter than the other, which is normal. We don't usually always work or walk perfectly symmetrical. One more stretch, opposite side. Great job. Come back to center, both palms facing down or both palms facing up. Just make sure they're both in the same direction. Feet are planted. Back to that neutral spine position that we had when we started laying down. So notice if you feel any different. If your back feels a little bit looser, hopefully you're not as tight and maybe pushing or pulling in either direction. With the arms out to a T, let's start to wrap those arms around the shins and hug the knees into the chest. Big hug here. If that's too far to reach in the front of the legs, you're welcome to place the hands just under the knees or behind the thighs. And if that's too much, you can just keep the hands down on the ground as well. Whatever feels best, just find a nice big hug. Rock gently side to side, still waking up that low back here. And exhale back to center. Go ahead and drop the left leg down towards the ground, out straight, and the right knee stays up. I want you to keep those hands wrapped around the knee. And again, if the front of the knee or the shin is too far of a reach, feel free to place the hands behind the thigh, underneath the knee. or down by the side. What I want you to do is I really want you to squeeze that knee in towards your chest. You can use the hands. If you're using the hands to squeeze the knee towards the chest, I want you to just as strongly push that knee into the hands. So we're really working the hip flexor and the quad muscle here. I want you to find work here. I want you to feel that push, push, push. Don't release it yet. And then I want you to release that stretch. Pull the knee closer up towards the shoulder. Good. And then take it back to center. Push into the hands. Push the hands into the knee. Find this nice big work here. Contracting that muscle as hard as you can. I want you to really feel that contraction. And then exhale, release. As you release, it's okay for that hip to fall out to the side a little bit if that feels good. That's a good thing. That means that hip is opening up. Take it back to center. Push the knee into the hands. Push the hands into the knee. Contract, contract, contract. You're squeezing that muscle as tight as you can. So really, really find that push. Make sure that you're not pushing from the shoulders though. You want to push through that leg and then release. Exhale, release. Let that hip fall down and pull it closer. We'll do one more just like that before switching sides. Last time, come back to center. Push that knee into the hands. Push those hands into the knee. Feel that contraction through the quad, through the hip. Keep breathing as you're pushing. And then take a big exhale. Release. Release that thigh. Release that knee. You're still hugging the knee into the chest, but you're not pushing, not contracting the muscle any longer. And then we're going to release that leg out straight. Take the arms overhead, big full body stretch. Exhale, hug both knees into the chest. See if you feel any difference now between the right leg and the left leg. For me, I feel like my right leg can hug a little bit closer than my left after that stretch. My right hip feels a little bit looser after those. Rock it side to side, just a few. Great job. Come on back to center. This time we drop the right leg out straight. Gently, gently. You may feel that hip kind of feels a little bit tight after those contractions. So take it gentle coming down to the ground. Both hands are going to hug the left knee in now. And we're going to either on the front of the shin, behind the thigh, or hands even to the floor. You can still do this if hands are on the floor. You're just going to pull that knee in. So pull it in if you're using the hands, pull in with the hands, but push back against the hands with the shins, the knee. We're going to contract that quad muscle, contracting through the hip flexor. Push as much as you can, but keep breathing. So we don't want to push like that. We want to keep on breathing here. You may start to feel a little bit of a shake. That's good. That means it's working. Exhale, release, hug that knee into the chest as tight as you can. Letting that hip release, the quad release. And then come back to center. Find your center first so that your hip is nice and straight, and then start to push into the hands and pull back on the knee. Find that contraction. Big push here. Exhale, release. Keep hugging that knee in, even on the release. It's just you're not pushing against the hands anymore. Hugs in closer, may fall out to the side if that feels good on the hip. Take it back to center. We have two more just like this. Push into those hands. Pull back on the thigh, pull back on the knee. Your hands should be right below the kneecap, not pushing on the kneecap, by the way. Or if they're behind the thigh, you're just pulling in closer. Push, push, push. Contract that muscle as much as you can. And then exhale, release. I want you to feel when you're pushing like you're at a point that you're tiring that muscle a bit, really pushing hard, so that when we push that hard, we can release just as strongly. Take it back to center, last one here. Push into that hand, pull back on the leg, contract that quad, hip flexor. All those muscles working to push against the hands, not the shoulders. Shoulders should be relaxed. We're not pulling in with our shoulders, we're pulling in with our forearms more. And relax. And really let that leg fall down towards your shoulder or chest as much as it feels good. Let it fall out to the side. Great job. Let's take that left leg down straight. Arms come overhead. Full body stretch. Take your time straightening that leg. And exhale, wrap those arms around. Both knees come into the chest. Hug them both in. Rock it side to side a little bit. Notice how those hips feel now. Starting to feel a little bit of loosening there. And then plant the feet, keep the knees bent. We'll just windshield wiper just the knees for just a few here. So take it side to side very gently, noticing if our knees are getting any closer to the ground than when we did this just a few moments ago. We're looking for a little bit of looseness, lightening up through the hips. And the low back, the low spine. One more of those. And then come back to center. Good job, guys. We're going to take it onto our sides now and start to work our way up towards the upper body. So coming onto your side, you're going to take your bottom arm is going to come out straight. If you have a pillow or a blanket or a yoga block and you want to use that to rest your head, you're welcome to. If you don't have that, you can just rest your head on your shoulder like I'm going to do here. You want to bring your knees out to about 90 degrees. So the knees are in line with the hips, and then you're going to take the ankles in line with the knee, perpendicular to the knee. We've got this nice resting position here. Sorry, let me just make sure that nobody's trying to get a hold of me here. Okay, good. And take this top arm, lift it up towards the sky or ceiling, and then drop that arm directly down so that it's resting on your side. And we really want to find relaxation in this arm. So make sure that your body is in a nice straight line here. The hips are stacked. Your shoulders in line. Everything's right in line here. And we could just lay here all day and be nice and relaxed, right? We're going to do a little bit more than that. With this top arm, I want you to straighten those fingertips as if you're reaching towards your feet. And then we're going to turn the palm up and start to roll very gently back. It's a very small movement. You're going to feel a nice stretch right here through the front of your shoulders. You can take the head with you if that feels okay. If that's too much on the neck, just keep the neck side to side, the ear resting on the shoulder. So letting it fall here. That first movement might not feel like much, but as you let that hand fall, you're letting gravity do a little bit of a stretch here, stretching on that shoulder muscle. I want you to roll it back. And just rest it. Come back to your resting arm position. Where you feel nothing right here so much. Take a nice big breath. The rest is just as important. So the non-moving part of this stretch is just as important as that rolling stretch. Let's go ahead and take it back one more time. We rotate the palm, comes up. We shift the shoulder blade back and maybe start to lean slightly back. Only going as far as feels comfortable. As we let this hand, palm face up, start to fall down towards the ground, you may feel a bit of a stretch in the shoulder blade. You may feel it in the front of your shoulders, in your rotator cuff. If there's any pain whatsoever, bring it back to center. Keep letting it fall here. We want that shoulder blade stretched. So we want to reach that shoulder blade is what we're trying for here. If you have other muscles that are tight in the front of your shoulders, it may prevent the shoulder blade stretch, and that's fine because this will help release those as well. Take it back to center. Find that resting position. Palm faces down. When we come back to center, I want you to really try to release this shoulder. Even though it's not a big move, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel that shoulder muscle working. It may want to tighten up because it's an uncomfortable stretch, right? It's like, ooh, I'm not used to this. And when our muscles aren't used to something, they try to clench up. But this resting position, I want it to be a nice deep release. We're going to do this 2 more times, same stretch, okay? Lifting, rotating that palm, take it back behind you. It's a small move. The palm is just kind of hanging out here behind your legs. And you're starting to drop that shoulder behind you. This move, if you don't have tight shoulders, this move might look a little bit bigger on you. My shoulders are pretty tight, so I don't have a big range of motion here. But no matter how big or how small it is, it's fine. It's exactly where you need it to be. You may start to feel as we do more of these that the shoulders starting to drop a little bit further behind you, that arms dropping closer to the ground. That's good. That means it's working. Take it back to center, palm faces back down, and rest that arm on your side body. Big exhale. Last one just like this. Take it back. Palm faces up. Let it hang. Keep on breathing here. If there's any strain in your neck, you can lift that arm back up so it's not falling quite so far. For me, I could tell in the beginning when we first did this, it was a lot of stretch through the front of my shoulder. Now I'm really feeling it in the shoulder blade. That may be different for you. It just all depends on where the tightness in your shoulders is. Bring it back. Rest that arm on your side. Give it a little bit of a wiggle here, and then rest it back just where we started. Make sure your body's back in line, and you're comfortable with breathing here. We're going to do the same type of thing, but we're going to rotate the shoulder forward. So we're going to take, instead of coming back with the shoulder, we're taking it this way, and we're rotating it forward. And again, that palm comes face up. So we're just dropping that shoulder down towards the ground slightly. Keep the hips stacked, so only that upper body is moving. You may feel this through the pectoral muscles. Let it fall here. If you're not feeling much in the arms up here, you're welcome to take that arm down to the ground. And then take it back up. Just a slight rotation through. Now we don't want to be turning the whole torso down towards the ground. We really want to focus on the shoulder here, okay? Find your resting place. Keeping those knees bent, and then drop that shoulder forward again. Palm faces up if that feels okay. And take it back on up. One more time, actually 2 more times. Take it forward, we're doing 4 of these total. Take it forward, palm faces up, shoulder rotates forward. And take it back. Make sure we're coming all the way back up and resting that arm at the top. Last time here, roll it forward, rotate the palm. Keep the torso straight, just rotate that shoulder. And back to center. Great job. For this time, we're going to keep the hand in this resting position, but we're going to lift it slightly up. So it's staying nice and straight, the fingertips reach. And I want you to slide that arm down as if you're trying to touch your toes. I want you to reach, reach, reach. You're going to feel maybe a stretch right up here through the top of your shoulder. That's good. That's where we want it. Stretch, stretch, stretch here. Maybe even through the side of the neck. And then release. Take it back. Again, another small move. And that rest, release all the muscles, and then stretch and reach like you're trying to reach for those toes. You may even want to tuck the hip up slightly on this one to get a deeper side body stretch. That's perfectly fine. If that's too much, then leave the hip down. But we're stretching those fingers, maybe pulling that hip up, find that stretch. Keep that head down on your shoulder. If you start to lift the neck, you're going to not get the benefits of that neck stretch that you get from this full side body stretch. Then release, come back to center, drop the hip if you lifted it, rest the arm on the hands. And again, reaching long, keep that head down on the shoulders, stretch, stretch, stretch. Pull at the hip if you want to. You may even feel it coming through the obliques here. Make sure you're not holding the breath. And back down. Release the hip. Relax the arm. We've got one more just like that. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch as much as you can. Reach for those toes. You may push the head into the shoulder a little bit, really intensify that side neck stretch and release. Hip comes down, arm relaxes. Good job. We've got one more that we're gonna do on this side like this, where we're gonna take the head here. We're gonna keep this arm resting and we're gonna lift the head up. Keep your gaze straight ahead of you. We're just lifting, lifting, lifting. So we're contracting the side muscle that we just stretched. We're stretching the bottom side of the neck. And then we relax everything all the way down. Drop the head and release muscles. Lift on up one more time. Well, actually, we're gonna do it 3 more times total. Lift, lift, lift. Keep your gaze neutral. And then take it down. When you come all the way down, make sure you're releasing all those muscles. Don't keep that contraction in the neck. We're preparing for the next one. I really want you to find that release. If that means you have to take a big inhale and exhale and physically tell those muscles to let go, that's fine. Take it back on that stretch, stretch, stretch. Pull that head away from the shoulder, contract that neck muscle. Exhale, take it down. Let the head get heavy as you come back to the shoulder. Release through this left shoulder. For me, it's my left on the top. Last one here, take it all the way up. Don't hold the breath here, keep breathing. And release it down. Great job. I want you to take this top leg and straighten the top leg out as long as you can. Keep the bottom leg nice and bent. And I want you to flex the foot. This leg is hovering now. We're going to get a nice little IT band stretch here. I want you to lift ever so slightly, just about a few inches. Keep that foot flexed. And I want you to squeeze, 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 squeeze. You may feel some tension in the glutes here or the inner thigh. But keep lifting, keep squeezing, hold, 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 and push that heel away from your body as far as you can, lengthening that leg as much as you can, and then release it down. As you release it down, the knee can bend, so completely relax those muscles. We'll do 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift that leg, flex that foot, stretch it out, lift it, and lengthen. Keeping this head relaxed on the shoulder. Hips are stacked. Keep pushing, keep breathing. And release that muscle, relax it down. Hug that knee right on top of the other one, stack it right in. Great job. Let's lift it, flex that foot, push that heel away from you, lengthen the leg as much as you can, lift another 2 inches. Keep on pushing. If you're feeling shaking there, that's good. That's those muscles working. We're reworking that. And relax it down. One more just like that. All right, take it all the way up one more time. Flex through that foot, push that heel. Lift through the thigh, keep the head relaxed on the shoulder. So much here, I know. Hips are stacked. Should be getting a little bit harder to keep lifting that leg. That's where we want you to be. We want you contracting that muscle, really working that muscle. And then slowly release. Ooh. Good work, guys. Roll on over to your back. Plant those feet. Knees are bent. Windshield wiper the knees. Just a few here before we move on to the other side. How are those hips starting to feel? Hopefully the shoulders are getting a little bit relaxed. The spine is relaxed. On one side at least. We'll get caught up on the other. All right, y'all, let's take it over to the other side. You're welcome to just flip on over. I'm gonna move the position of my head so that I'm still facing the camera. We're taking the bottom arm long, resting the head, the shoulder on the ear. If you see that my head has a slight turn, it's simply because I don't want to turn the microphone off. I want you guys to have that nice neutral gaze like I had on the other side. I'm turning slightly up just so that I don't turn this off. Knees are bent at 90 degrees. Ankles are perpendicular with the knees. Bringing that top arm straight up towards the ceiling of the sky. Start to feel that shoulder working here. And then palms face down, or palm faces down towards your feet, and lower that arm all the way down. Rest it here. So this is our resting pose. This is our starting position, our return position. When we relax, I want full relaxation here. What we're going to do here is we're going to take this top shoulder and we're going to start to rotate that palm faces up, and we drop that shoulder behind us. Start to let gravity do the work and let that shoulder hang. And then take it back on up to center. Rotate the shoulder back so the palm is facing down and relax here. Remember that we may feel the stretch through the front of the shoulder. We may feel it in the shoulder blades. Rotate that palm up, rotate back. So we're stretching gently back, letting it hang. You may, if resting it on your side is not giving you a stretch enough that you want, you can take that arm behind you. Famous cool bud, come on. Sorry, guys. My dog likes to be on camera, front and center. Drop that arm back behind you. And take it back to center. Good. Relax it here, relax all the muscles. And then palm rotates up, we take it back behind us again. Let that shoulder fall down as close to the ground, or the arm comes as close to the ground as it will. For me, I even feel this one coming up through my neck. So it just all depends on where your tightness is or where you're gonna feel it. Really feel into that stretch, let it hang and stretch. Come back to center, palm faces down. I believe we have one more on this side. If we've already done 4, then an extra one won't hurt us. Rotate that palm on up one more time. Drop the shoulder down behind you. Drop the arm. Move it, doggy. And inhale back to center. Good job. So staying here and relaxing. Release all those muscles. Top arm just resting on the side. Head is resting on the shoulder. Knees and thighs are relaxed. Now we're going to rotate the opposite direction. We're going to rotate, the palm comes up and the shoulder drops forward. Again, try to keep the torso, the hips stay stacked. So we're not shifting all the way. Just that shoulder comes forward, dropping the shoulder down towards the ground, and that arm can come down if that feels good. If that's too much, then just keep that hand rest on the thigh. Inhale back to center, palm faces down. Again, these stretches may not feel like much right now, but hopefully you're gonna leave feeling like butter, like rested and gooey and good. Rotate palm faces up, drop that shoulder forward. Keep breathing here. Take it all the way back on up. Rotate it back. Palm faces down. You're resting it on that thigh. Take it forward again. Shoulder drops. My dog found a squeaky toy. Sorry, guys. Told you he likes center stage, right? If I won't let him be in front of the camera, he'll make sure we can hear him. Come back on up to center, palm faces down. Relax the shoulder. We got one more just like that. Here we go, last one. Drop that shoulder forward, rotate so the palm faces up. Keep those hips stacked, keep breathing. job. Lengthen through the body. Make sure that we're in our starting position. This hand is resting on the side. Knees are still bent. We're going to take that top arm, point those fingertips, lift it very gently off the thigh, and start to reach those fingertips down towards your feet as if you're trying to reach for your feet. Maybe feeling a big stretch through the side of the neck, the side of the shoulder, maybe even the side body. Push that head, the head into the shoulder below you so you're not lifting it all here. Pushing it down and release, relax everything here. Great job. Lift that arm, straighten those fingertips, reach as far. And now you have that option to lift the hip as well if you really want to try to find that side body stretch. Maybe feeling it through the obliques as well. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can. And relax. Two more just like that. And here we go. Let's stretch, stretch, stretch. Tilt the hip up if you want. Stretch those fingertips. Push the head into the shoulder. Big stretch. And release. I've got one more. Last time for this one, reach those fingertips towards the feet. Maybe tip that hip up. Keep the head down. Notice how it feels in your side body, your shoulder, your neck, your spine. Everything all connected here. And then come back to center. Release. One more stretch in this position. We're going to start to lift that head, okay? Gaze stays forward, so your eyes are looking straight towards me, towards the camera. And as we lift, we're just going to pull the head up. You want to focus on squeezing the muscle here, stretching that bottom side. Top arm is relaxed. Pull, pull, pull. Relax it down. So the relax on this one is big because we're working those muscles, those neck muscles, really hard to pull the head up. Make sure you're releasing just as hard. Take it back on up. Pull, pull, pull. Gazes forward. Don't look over the shoulders. Stay straight ahead. And release. Great job. We'll do that one more time, okay? Take it all the way on up. I'm sorry, 2 more times. Take it up. I can't count this morning. Lift, lift, lift. Gazes straight. See how far you can pull this ear towards the shoulder. Squeezing through the neck. Keep the arm relaxed. Back up, down. That release should feel good. As you come back down, feel that release through the neck muscles. Feel that stretch. And now I'll do it the last time. Take it on up. Pull, pull, pull. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax it down. Great job. Hold here for a moment. Relax the shoulder, the side, everything. And this time, instead of rolling onto our back, we're going to roll onto our tummies. We're already nearing the end of class, guys. It's flying by. We've still got some more shoulder and neck stretches to do. We're going to continue here, okay? I want your forearms to come down to the ground, and I want you to relax your head in between. So your shoulders are relaxed, shoulder blades are relaxed. Your elbows are kind of in by your sides, and your palms are resting on the ground. Don't let that cheek just kind of rest here. I want the tops of the feet to be relaxed. So we're not pointing the toes, we're not contracting the leg muscles. Everything is relaxed here as if we're just about to take a little nap. You can do that in about 10 minutes if you want to. And from here, I want you to push those palms into the ground and start to lift the chest. So your gaze is staying over to the side this time. You're looking over probably towards the camera, towards me, and lift up as much as you can. Take your gaze to the side. If you feel any low back pain, I want you to lower back down. Take your gaze from one side. We're going to take it all the way to the other side. So take it down towards your mat. Lift up towards the other side. Stretch it as much as you can. And then lower down towards the mat so the opposite cheek touches the ground. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck here. It's a conscious relaxation. You have to really tell those muscles to let go. Plant those palms, lift on up. Take your gaze, keeping your gaze over to the side. For me, my gaze is over to the left side, past the left shoulder right now. I'm gonna drop my gaze. My nose comes down towards the mat. And don't drop the shoulders at all. Just move. Gaze over the opposite shoulder to the right side for me now. Keep on breathing. And then lower back on down. All the way down. We're gonna do 2 more of those. So let's take those palms. We will lift on up. I don't know what happened to my music, sorry. There we go. Lift on up, your gaze is over the right shoulder. Please sweep the nose down towards the mat. All the way over to the left. And lower down. Relaxing everything. So you may notice as you start to lift up, even your legs are tensing up. Try not to let the legs tense up. Very normal. You want to focus the energy on the shoulders and the neck as we lift. Last time here, plant those fingers, lift on up, gaze over the left shoulder. You're pushing into the ground. Keep the toes relaxed, the legs relaxed. Gaze sweeps down towards your mat, over to the right. And lower down. Great job. Nice big sigh, big release here. We're going to do another move staying on our belly. A very similar move. We're going to stay on one side. So I want you to take the right palm. You're pushing the right palm into the ground. Start to lift the elbow. So last time our elbow stayed here. When we lift the elbow, I want you to lift all the way up. Take your gaze over the right shoulder like you're in a car and you're checking to see if there's traffic coming behind you, right? So it's a nice big twist. You're lifting and pushing, stretching as much as you can, and then lower back on down. Release all those muscles. Cheek to the mat. Great job. Let's do that again. Lift the elbow, push the palm into the ground, lift all the way on up, twist. So you're twisting through the spine, taking that gaze as far back as you can. Keep the feet relaxed, hips relaxed, and back on down. 2 more just like that. Lift that elbow, push that palm, come all the way on up, find a big twist. Notice if you're twisting deeper and deeper on each lift, maybe you are. Try to make sure that shoulder's not hugging in towards the ears, but drop it down so you can take your gaze right over it, lower down, relax. Let's do 1 more, just like that. Lift that elbow, push into the palm, and twist. And lower down, great job. Last one on that side. Take your opposite cheek to the mat. So now you're gazing over to the left. You're gonna relax the right arm. You're gonna lift the left elbow, push into the ground with the left palm. Start your lift and twist. Looking for traffic on the other side. Keep on breathing here. We're not holding the breath. And exhale down. Keeping that cheek to the mat as you come down. Consciously release all of the muscles. Lifting that left elbow, push on it, find that twist. And come back to center, cheek to the mat. Relax, relax here. Pushing that palm, lifting that elbow back on it. Lift, 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 and twist. And take it back on down. We've got 1 more just like this. Lift that elbow, push the palm, find that twist. Keep on breathing and exhale all the way down. Great job. Cheek to the mat one more time. You can release those arms, bring them down by your side, palms face up, the elbows relax. A few more breaths here, and then we're going to roll back to the same side we were just on to do that IT band stretch on the opposite leg. After your next exhale, roll back onto your side. Take that bottom arm nice and long again, and the knees come bent. Shoulders should be nice and relaxed here. And we're going to take this top leg, we're going to straighten it out. We're going to flex the foot, and we keep that leg hovering. So we're lifting up, we're pushing away from our body with the heel, making that leg as long as you can, and lifting just a little bit to start to engage the IT band, the glutes here. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. And exhale, release it down. Fully release that hip and glute and let that leg just lay heavy on the bottom leg. Let it rest heavy here. Using this arm to hold you up here. Great job. He's finding more toys. All right, guys, lift that leg. Flex through the foot. Push the heel away. Lift a little bit higher this time. You want to start to feel some work in those muscles. That's what we're trying to do here. Finding the work so that we can find the relaxation and the release. Push, push, push. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale. Release it down. Slight bend in the knee on the release so it's nice and relaxed, however feels comfortable. Inhale, lift it up. Flex that foot, push that heel away, lengthen as much as you can. Remember, if you feel any kind of shaking here, that's perfectly normal. I want you to lengthen as much as you can. Lift, lift, lift. Keep contracting. And lower down. Great job. We've got one more like that. Here we go. Reach it long and lift. Flex that foot. Push away towards the wall or the other side of the room, wherever you are. Lift, lift, lift. Push that heel away. Feel that contraction through the glute and the hip. Keep holding it up. And lower down, release. Great job. Give yourself a few breaths here to really release those muscles. When you're ready, roll on over to your back. And we're going to keep the knees bent, and we're going to plant those feet. Take the arms out to a nice relaxed T position and windshield wiper those legs. See how far those knees are falling to the ground now. Do you notice any difference from when we did this in the very beginning? Is your spine a little looser? Is your hips a little looser? Your shoulders. Notice if you feel any better, any different. Taking your time here, just going side to side. Great job. We're going to bring the knees back to center. Hug those knees into the chest. And rock ourselves up to a seated position. From our seated position, I want you to bring the arms all the way up overhead. And I want you to exhale forward into a nice seated forward fold. So walk those hands down towards the ground and then walk them out in front. So you want to pull on the low back here. You want to drop the head down towards the ground as much as you can. Try to keep the hips down on the ground, but the chest comes closer to the ground. Letting that low back release. We're going to walk the hands all the way back. We're going to take it to a kneeling position. Take the knees nice and wide. And we're going to take the child's pose to even stretch that low back even more. We had our back in the opposite position for almost the entire class, where we were laying on the back and kind of arching the low back. So now we want to really push those hips back. Take the knees wide, drop that chest down. Relax the shoulder blades here. If you have pillows or blocks at home, a great practice is to take those and put them underneath your hands. Rest your hands on the blocks. It's going to allow you to drop the shoulders even a little bit more. A little bit of a deeper shoulder stretch. Actually, I can show you guys if I have my blocks nearby to show you exactly what I mean. So great, since we're all about shoulders today. Sorry, I should have thought of this earlier. Take those blocks right out in front of you and place one hand on either block, find child's pose, and just drop all the way down. All right, that's a great stretch for you to do there. Oops, hang on, guys. So finding that one last stretch here, big breath here. Let those shoulders really relax here. Let the low spine relax. And if you didn't have blocks or pillows available right now, this is just a great stretch that you can do at any other time, okay? If you did, then let's move anything out of the way. And we're gonna work our way onto our backs because we have made it to final Shavasana. I know we've been laying down for 90% of the class, 99% of the class. We are gonna go back there and release our muscles one last time. So work your way however we would like into your back, onto your back. You can have legs out straight. We did a lot of hip releases today. You may want to try taking the soles of the feet together and relaxing, dropping the knees out to the side. If that feels good after all those stretches, then you're welcome to stay here and hold Shavasana this way. If that's too tight on the hips, then just take the legs out straight or lay however is comfortable. Maybe legs up the wall. Since we're at home, you may have a wall with you. Do whatever feels great, guys, and relax. Close your eyes. Start to find some small movements, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe arms overhead for a nice full body stretch. Big inhale and exhale. And when you feel ready, roll on over to whichever side is most comfortable for you. Take a few breaths there. And then after a few breaths there, meet me in a comfortably seated position. Sitting up nice and tall once you get here. Relax those shoulders, wiggle it out one last time, wiggle through the spine. Hope you feel nice and loose through there, through all of your spine, from base of your neck all the way down to the low back. That's what we were hoping for today. From here, inhale the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together at the top and lower them down to heart center. Touch those thumbs directly to the chest, finding that hand-heart connection. I invite you to close your eyes as we finish class today. My dog does not want us to end, apparently. Take a big, deep breath. Give yourself a little bit of appreciation for getting up on a Saturday morning and practicing with me here today. I am so appreciative of you guys being accommodating and flexible to join me via Zoom or in person when we can. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Stay warm. And I hope to see you tomorrow at Beats and Brews. And if not, then I look forward to seeing you next week. Guys, have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys.